As many of you know, I'm all about breathing some new life into old hardware. That's why a few months ago, I introduced you to PiLoader, my new operating system that transforms your old Helium miners into a multi-mining machine. Now, PiLoader lets you earn from up to 15 different crypto projects. And to prove it works, I'm giving everyone a 45-day free trial just to test it out. Now, when I originally built PiLoader, it was for the Helium miners with a Raspberry Pi foundation, like the SenseCap and the Rack miners. But then you asked me to build PiLoader to run on the Bobcat miner. So of course, I built a PiLoader for all 4 versions of the Bobcat miner. But now, you've asked me to build PiLoader to run on the Nebra indoor miners. I'm happy to report that's exactly what I've done. But as you know, there are actually 2 versions of the Nebra indoor miners. There's the original Nebra indoor miner that runs on a CM3 Plus platform. Then there's the newer Nebra miner that operates on a RockPi 4 platform. Now, the process to flash each of these is very different. So in this video, I'm going to focus on the original Nebra indoor hotspot. Now, if you do have a newer Nebra, I promise I will have a step-by-step guide for you very soon. But of course, you can always go to PiLoader.com and check out the full list of compatible devices and their Get Started guides to get a full step-by-step flashing process for all the current compatible miners that PiLoader supports. But in this video, I'm going to walk you step-by-step through the process of how to flash the original Nebra indoor hotspot with PiLoader to get it up and earning. So if you're ready to get started, let's dive in the video.
Serenity, you rescued me.
Okay, so to get started, the first thing we're going to do is head over to PiLoader.com and then click on the Get Started link right here at the top of the page. Now this will open up the list of compatible devices. So let's go down, select the Nebra indoor hotspot with the CM3 Plus. And you can see it's right here. Let's go and click on the View Installation Guide. Now this is going to give us links to software and any special hardware tools that we need to flash our miner. So the first thing it tells us right down here is that we need a new good quality micro SD card. Now personally, I recommend using at least a 64GB U3 or A1 micro SD card, since this is going to be the new hard drive for your miner. Now I've had great luck with the PNY 64GB Elite X, and that's why it gets my personal seal of approval. And as you can see, that's the exact same card we will be using in this video. Now we'll also need a micro SD card reader to allow our computer to flash the SD card. Now I'll make sure to put links to the SD card and card reader in the description down below. Now once you have your new SD card and card reader in hand, then we'll need to install a couple software programs that are completely free. The first one is going to be Balena Etcher. Now, Balena Etcher is what we will use to flash PiLoader onto the micro SD card. The second one is Advanced IP Scanner, and this will allow us to find the IP address of our miner on the network after we've flashed PiLoader onto it. Now, lastly, we will need to download the PiLoader Nebra CM3 Plus image. Now, all of the links are right here in the Get Started guide, and I'll make sure to put these in the description down below. So go ahead and pause this video to take a few minutes to download and install these programs, and make sure you got your CM3 image in your downloads folder ready to flash. I'll be back in just a minute. Welcome back. Okay, now that we have those programs installed and our PiLoader image downloaded, we're ready to flash our micro SD card. So let's go ahead and insert our micro SD card into our card reader, and then let's plug that into any USB slot on your PC. Okay, now that we've got that inserted, let's go ahead and open up a Balena Etcher program. Now when it first opens, it's going to ask us where do we want to flash that image from. So we know we want to flash it from file because that's what we downloaded. So go ahead and click Flash from File. Then it's going to open up your Windows Explorer. Now for me, I put it in the Downloads folder, and that's probably where yours is too. As you see right here, we've got the PiLoader Nebra CM3 image.gz. Now, go ahead and select that file. You do not want to unzip it or open it. Just simply select it for Balena Etcher. Next, it's going to ask us to select the target. Now, that's the target drive we want to burn that image to. So go ahead and click on Select Target, and then it's going to bring up a list of drives on your computers. Now, as you can see, the 1 terabyte has a big warning about it and lets me know that's a large drive. Probably not the one I want. What I'm looking for is the micro SD card, which is plugged in the USB device at 62.9 gigabytes. So I'm going to go and select that micro SD card, and then I'm going to tell it to select one drive. That's the only one I want it to burn to. Lastly, We just got to flash it. So go ahead and click on Flash. Now this might pop up a warning asking you, do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? And yes, you do want it to change the drive. Got to give it permission, otherwise it can't do it. Now it's going to go through the process of flashing that image onto the microSD card and verifying it. This is going to take a few minutes. Let it run to completion. Okay, so the flashing process took about 10 minutes, give or take. But now that we can see it says flash complete, one successful target is done. So from here, we can go and close Balena Etcher. Let's go and pull our microSD card out of our computer and out of the card reader. That is our new hard drive. Next trick, we now have to put this into this. So let's start tearing into our miner and put our new hard drive in, get it up and running. Okay, now that we've got our microSD card ready to go on our miner, we're going to be tearing this guy apart. Now, of course, the first thing, make sure to unplug your power cable, antenna, and your network cable. You don't want to try this while it's powered up. Now, we're going to need a small pry bar, or I like to use a steak knife. But I'll warn you, please don't cut yourself. Blood and electronics don't get along, so please be careful. So, on the side of the case, we're going to tip this guy up, and you can see the seam right across here. Now, we've got to put our pry bar in there and very gently pry the top and the sides apart. When you start getting a little gap, start moving around the miner, because it clicks on all four sides, until you feel that top cover pop off. Once that's started to separate, you can simply lift the top cover off of the main housing. Let's go ahead and set that aside for now. Now what we need to do is replace the eMMC chip, which is right here, has that blue dot. But I found out through several trials, it's a lot easier if we remove the compute module first, so we can see the complete micro SD card slot. Now to remove this compute module, simply take these two metal tabs and gently push them apart. And that's going to pop this compute module up, kind of like a DIMM on a laptop. And simply slide this out, and we're going to set that guy aside. Now you can see your micro SD card slot right here, and your eMMC chip that we're going to be replacing. So let's go and just pull this guy out here. Now I always like to save these, that way in case down the road I decide to sell this miner, I can put it right back to stock by just sliding this back into place. So I'm going to tape this on the inside cover using a piece of painter's tape. That way I don't have to figure out what drawer I put it in or where I hid it. It's always inside the miner. Okay, now that we've got that taken care of, let's take our new micro SD card and simply slide this into the SD card slot. Just like that. Okay, now all we have to do is put the compute module back in. And to do that, put it right back in the same way we got it in the socket. Make sure it's firmly seated in and gently push it down to make sure both metal tabs have locked into place. And that's it. Our miner is flashed. We are ready to put our cover plate back on. Now, it will go on several ways. I always like to make sure the Nebra is right side up compared to the terminals. Otherwise, it looks like somebody was messing with it. Put it over top, snap it into place, and we're done. That's it. It's that simple. Okay, so by now, you should have connected your antenna, your network cable, and powered up your miner. That means we're ready to log into the PiLoader dashboard. Now, if you're planning to run your miner over Wi-Fi, you're still going to need to connect it with a hardline first to get into the dashboard and set up the Wi-Fi connection. Then you'll be able to move it to its final resting place. Now, there are two ways to log into your PiLoader dashboard, and I'm going to demonstrate both of them for you. Now, the first is the original way of logging in, and that is to get your miner's IP address using Advanced IP Scanner and entering that into your browser tab with a port 8080. Now, this is still necessary if you have more than one miner running the free trial on your network. So to get started, let's go ahead and open up Advanced IP Scanner. Then we're going to click Scan, and that'll scan our local network to find out any devices that are connected. And we're looking for any devices labeled as PiLoader. Now, while this is scanning, I want to mention this is a great tool to monitor your home network to keep an eye out for any unwanted connections. So I usually do a scan every few weeks just to make sure I don't have any uninvited guests. Okay, now that the scan's complete, we can see that Advanced IP Scanner found our miner, and it's labeled as PiLoader right here at the top. And its IP address is 192.168.0.85. So what we want to do now is open up any browser tab, and then in the address bar, type in that IP address followed by :8080. So it's 192.168.0.85 :8080. Once you got that, go and hit enter. Now, if this is your first time accessing the dashboard, you may get a warning saying that this site doesn't support a secure connection. That's okay. because this connection is inside your local network. It's not going outside in the web or anything like that where we have to worry about security. So go ahead and click the Continue to Site, and that will take you to the PiLoader login screen. Now, as I said before, there is a second way to log in, and this is a new feature we've recently added to make it a whole lot easier. Now, if you only have one miner on your network, then you can log in your miner by opening up a new browser tab, and then type in the address bar piloader.local:8080 and hit enter. And once again, if this is the first time logging into your dashboard, you're going to get the same warning. This site doesn't support a secure connection. As we talked before, totally safe. Go and click Continue to Site. And as you can see, it takes you right to the local dashboard, same as it does with the IP address. Now, this is especially useful since one of our new features is that if you decide to get a PiLoader license, then you will be able to set a custom network name for each of your licensed miners. For example, the second miner on my network is licensed and renamed as Serenity. So if I open up a new tab and I go serenity.local:8080, it'll take me straight into that miner's dashboard. That way, if you have multiple miners on one network, it's really easy to separate them by simply giving them their own custom network name. Now, this is just one of the many features we continue to add PiLoader as we grow and as you ask for them. So let's get back to our Nebra miner. Now, if this is your first time logging into your dashboard, then you will need to read through the user agreement. Now, I always highly recommend read through the user agreement. Once you've read through it and you're okay with it, go and check I have read and accept the PiLoader OS license agreement. Once you check that box, then your data fields will unlock and allow you to enter in things like your email address and a referral code. Now, if you would do me a huge favor, enter Serenity in there. That way, if you decide you like PiLoader and you want to pick up a license, putting in Serenity will save you 10% off your purchase price after your free trial has expired. And then you get to create your own custom password for your dashboard. So make sure that's a secure password that only you know. Enter in all those fields. And lastly, go and click Save Password and Continue. Now, once you've done that, it'll have registered your miner and set the password for your dashboard. So let's go ahead and log into our dashboard with a password you just set. So type in that password and hit Login. And there we go. That's going to introduce you to PiLoader. Now, the very first screen you're going to run into is the modules. This is all the different projects that you can run on your miner. Now, each one has a different breakdown depending on how much resource it takes, how to install it. Everything is listed out within the module breakdown. So take some time, read through your modules, and start to decide which one's right for you. Now, before you get carried away installing all these different mining modules, I highly recommend take a little bit of time and configure your miner. Get it all set up exactly how you want it. For instance, not all miners carry over the serial number. So if we go into System, we can see right here it has a default serial number. We probably want to change that to match what's on our miner. To do that, simply click the pencil icon, enter whatever serial number you want, and click Save. And that's going to save that serial number to that miner. A couple other things you might want to look at is your Wi-Fi configuration. Remember I said if you wanted to run this off Wi-Fi, you absolutely can. Head to Wi-Fi config, go over here, scan your network, find your router, and then put in your password, and then you'll be able to unhook it from the hard line. Now also make sure to jump down into the Settings tab and change your time zone. That way it's accurate for what you're really looking at. Now I will let you know that all the log files are set up on UTC, so no matter what you set your time zone to make them universal to understand what's going on all these different projects, we are keeping the UTC time zone for all the log files. So I hope that doesn't confuse you too much, but it'll make it a lot easier to help you with tech support if there are any problems. Now, the last thing is, if you do decide to get a license down the road, remember I said before you could customize your local IP address that you're logging into? Well, under My Devices, once you have a license, you can actually set the name for each miner right here in your dashboard. You don't have to do a support ticket, none of that. One of the great features, if you do decide to get a license and you decide PiLoader is working great and you want to tell your friends about it, head into the referral tab, because once you have a license, you can absolutely get your own custom referral link. So putting it very simply, you'll be able to earn up to 30% from every license that you refer. And that's a great way to help somebody else save 10% off their purchase price. You can earn up to 30% from the license fee. All in all, we're trying to make sure that PiLoader is great for everyone. Now, you might be asking, why do you require a license to be able to promote PiLoader? Well, putting it simply, I don't like having people out there promoting things they don't believe in. So to make sure that it's something you believe in and you want to share, it does require you to have a license. That's only a few of the many features built into PiLoader that you can do once you get it licensed and set up. But of course, the free trial lasts for 45 days, and that's free for everyone. Now, if you do decide that after 45 days you don't like PiLoader and you don't want to run it, but you're worried about losing your Helium earnings, don't. Because as you can see right here, Helium is free forever. Once you set up Helium on your miner, you can keep PiLoader running forever and never have to buy a license. It just means that the other modules outside of Helium will not be earning. But the great thing is, if you put in the discount code of Serenity, no matter if you decide to buy a license tomorrow or 2 years from now, you'll still have a 10% discount on that license. So in the end, it really comes down to what do you have to lose? Give PiLoader a test drive. Take it out for 45 days, see if it works. And if not, hey, no harm, no foul. Thanks for checking it out. And if it does, great. Get a license, tell your friends about it, and that way you can start earning not only from all these different earning opportunities, but also from helping other people learn that they can earn with old hardware they already own. Well, that about wraps up this PiLoader setup guide for the original Nebra indoor hotspot. And I hope this video has proven just how easy it is to breathe some new life into your old hardware. Now, if you have any questions or suggestions on how we can make PiLoader better, then please post them in the comments down below, or you can always join me in PiLoader Discord, where you're always going to find me hard at work trying to make PiLoader better for everyone. Now, if you like this kind of content and you want to see more, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to keep bringing you the best crypto information I can. I want to thank you very much for your time. And until next time, have a great night.